Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you another great example of practical AI with Salesforce Agentforce. We call it our call prep agent. The challenge that many of us face in an increasingly virtual world is that we're often running from meeting to meeting. Whether you're in sales or customer success or product or other roles, how often do you wish you had more time to prepare, to gather intel on who you're meeting with, what's their perspective, to look up prior interactions with that individual and between your organization and theirs, and sometimes even go deeper and do web research to gather more intel. But there's just never enough time to fully prepare. In a perfect world, though, we would have an assistant that can build us a digital brief for us with photos and bios of each meeting attendee and with deeper research at our fingertips. We've built the call prep agent on Agentforce to help with exactly this challenge. So let's see how this would work. So with the call prep agent, which I'm going to demo to you live in a moment, just going to walk you through the flow. You're going to be able to go into that assistant and just ask it to help you learn more and prepare for a specific meeting or an entire day for that matter. And as you do, the call prep agent will first retrieve each external facing event from your calendar that addresses that question. It's going to then call a profile enrichment tool to gather more information about each attendee attending that meeting. Then it's going to summarize all of that into concise, easy to read bios for each attendee. And that is an AI generated bio based on all the data enrichment and profile enrichment and last but not least, it's going to present all of that to you in a nice, rich UI directly within Agent. So here's an example of that, right? This is a view into a specific meeting with each attendee, very helpful profile pics next to each one, their title, link to their LinkedIn, their location that you can easily drill into and even get into, local Google News research for that location, which is wonderful for just as a conversation starter. And as I said, these are AI generated bios that gives you a very quick, easy to read synopsis of each individual. Now, let's say we want to go deeper. We want to learn more about a specific individual or individuals. We can easily do that. Just ask your agent about who you want to know more about, and it'll take care of the rest. It has a number of different tools at its disposal. First, it's going to go gather more information from their LinkedIn bio in terms of their work history, their recent posts, etc. And we're using another data enrichment tool here to do that. Then it's going to also scour your call logs on the contact record for that individual to see if there was any recent interactions that can also provide some insights. And last but not least, we are also leveraging web research. So we're integrating with Perplexity to do deep web research on the individual, their news, events, profile, and it's gathering all that information here, inclusive of citations, which is super helpful. And last but not least, after we've done all of that interaction with the agent and gathered all of that intel, we want to prepare a document that can live on beyond this conversation. We don't want to lose all of that wonderful context in the agent conversation. We want to store it in a document. So all we have to do is ask the agent to build us a briefing doc, and it will take care of the rest. It's going to consolidate all the conversation history, and it's going to prepare a nice synopsis. And the wonderful added benefit of this is you can then collaborate with your colleagues on that document as a joint briefing document so that you can collectively prepare for this critical meeting. So let's see what this looks like in action. We're going to head over to Agentforce, and we're going to start by simply saying something like, help me prep for my QBA call with CMG. Now, what this is doing, you notice I didn't ask it about a specific date or time on my calendar. I've just said, help me prep for my QBA call with CCMG. What it's doing now is scouring my calendar, looking for all of my external facing meetings with clients and prospects and partners, and it's trying to find what matches with QBA calls. And it's not only grabbing the information around the calendar, it's also pulling all of the rich profile information around each individual. So this is what it looks like. We've got the synopsis of the meeting. We've got each individual. We've got their profile from LinkedIn, and we've got a nice bio here. And like I said earlier, we've even got information about their location, which immediately launches into a Google News search around that location. Again, wonderful if you want to use that as a conversation starter. knowing where people are, especially in a virtual world, is super helpful. Now let's say I want to dive deeper. I want to learn more about Colleen. So let's say that. Help me learn more about Colleen. Again, the agent has a number of tools at its disposal to help me learn more about Colleen. You can see that it's going out and researching her LinkedIn profile details. That's the first stop that it makes. The second is it's researching the interaction logs from Colleen's contact record in Salesforce. And third, it's reaching out to Perplexity and doing a web research to see if it can find more details, more information, recent news and announcements around Colleen. So here we are. We can see the more detailed bio that it's gathered for Colleen. We can see the summary of recent contact interaction logs in Salesforce. And we can see that it didn't actually find any recent announcements on the web for her, but it did come back with a number of useful resources on the web that I might want to research. Let's say I want to learn more about the company itself. So help me research Clark Capital on the web and tell me about recent news and announcements. So now it's going out and doing a web search, leveraging Perplexity, and it's going to come back with insightful information around recent events with the company, which again, super helpful as I'm walking into this QBA to have that context and may present some interesting conversation options. So here we are, got a number of recent announcements, recognitions, etc. That's super helpful. Again, excellent information, very, very insightful. I don't want to lose it. I want to have this at my disposal, at my team's disposal. So I'm going to say, save this to a doc. We'll just say it as simply as that. What that is going to do is kick off another tool at its disposal, which is to build a pre-call briefing document. This is integrating with our Google Workspace or any document generation platform for that matter. In this case, we are building out a Google Doc, and I'm going to go ahead and launch it, show you what it looks like. There we are. We have information on each of the attendees that we had in the summary. We also have the deeper information on Colleen that we gathered through the analysis, and we have the recent news and announcements for Clark Capital here as well. So there you have it. That's the tour of Call Prep Agent. Hope that gives you a good taste of the power of the Agentforce platform and the amazing practical use cases we can help deliver in rapid fashion.